China's fancy laser weapons and fancy parade was a circus of fear and not defense. I mean, sure, it was impressive, but let's take a step back and what is it that we actually saw? We saw a choreographed performance. Drones that can't fly. Military vehicles that are just mock-ups. Yes, there's evidence that much of what was on display were nothing other than hollow placeholders with a fancy paint job. And soldiers chosen for their height and the lightness of their skin. I mean, it's kind of funny when you look at the footage of the poor soldiers with their tan lines from their chin straps and severe sunburns. These poor Chinese soldiers obviously don't get to see the sun very much. I mean, I don't know where they're keeping them, in dark caves somewhere, but I mean, these poor guys. Remember, China is the land of shortcuts and facades. And the fancy laser weapons that they had on display, well, it turns out that they're a bunch of useless garbage that don't even work anyway. Because they've been tested outside of China. And they suck. So China wants you to believe that they've unveiled the most powerful laser weapons the world has ever seen. But here's the kicker. The lasers weren't designed to shoot down drones or planes, but designed to shoot propaganda into your head. Before we get into it, you know what time it is. Just as you can count on your old Casio to tell you the time, you can count on bad actors using the internet to try and take advantage of you. We live in an unprecedented digital age of wonder, excitement, and unforeseen danger. We're all connected whether we like it or not. And just like buckling up your seatbelt when you get in a car, using a VPN when you use the information superhighway is a solid way to protect yourself. And that is why I choose Surfshark. When you choose different VPN servers, it's like you're teleporting yourself across the world. Choose Hong Kong? Well, it's like you're sitting in a cafe in Long Kwai Fong. Now you'll get local ticket deals and avoid other types of location-based price gouging. You can also watch shows that are blocked in your territory. Use Surfshark today. Go to surfshark.com/serpentsa and use the code SerpentZA at checkout to get 4 extra months off of Surfshark. Hey babe, I just got us 4 months extra of Surfshark. Go to surfshark.com/serpentZA and use the code SerpentZA to get those 4 extra months. Become a digital world traveler. And now, back to the show. What this was, in fact, was dictator's theater. I mean, I think that's the best way we can put it, right? This was the official unveiling of the CRINK alliance. And yes, I'm not making that up. There's a Wikipedia page about it. China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, the CRINKs. That's what they're being called. And it was them coming out in full force, sitting up there, overlooking everything. It's a powerful image. In real life, how do these amazing China space-age weapons, laser weapons, actually work? Not very well. Turns out there were field tests done, and it took something like 15 to 30 minutes for lasers to be able to lock onto devices to destroy one drone. And they made up all sorts of excuses like, oh, it was dusty. But come on, guys. Lasers are well known for being pretty unreliable in the field. I mean, weather conditions can really affect what happens with lasers. You've got things like power. Lasers require a lot of power, and, you know, it's pretty difficult when you're out in the field to supply it with the power it needs. Range is a problem too. And China has a culture of tech exaggeration. I mean, they'll take some technology that kind of works in a lab demonstration and pretend as if they've developed it to the point where it can actually be used in the real world. Very, very good example is this fake nuclear battery thing that you see going around almost every couple of months. It pops up on Twitter or on social media that China's built a nuclear battery that can power your phone for 50 years. I'm sure you've seen that by now. It turns out it's a bunch of BS. It's based on batteries that already exist, by the way, and were implemented in the USA in the 1970s in pacemakers. Those batteries cannot produce enough power to power a phone. It's impossible. It's been completely debunked. It's not something China invented, first of all, and it's not something that China has actually been able to implement. It's just vaporware. It's just one CG presentation that keeps getting shown around the place. And it's nonsense. And it's the same with these laser weapons. They suck. But the sad truth is that China doesn't need to build fancy weapons. It already has the most powerful weapon of all. And that is control over the minds of Chinese people. Not only at home, but abroad. So while I will 100% give credit to China for being able to put together very well choreographed performances, I mean, we saw it with the 2008 Beijing Olympics. You know, I was in China when they did that. We see it with all of these openings to whatever big games that they put on. We see it with all these military parades. They could get people to do synchronized marching and so on. Very impressive, and I will give that to China. But the substance behind it, the claims of having technologically advanced weapons is false. It always is. It always has been. And not once have they proven that any of the claims that they make on their weapons and their military prowess is true. Not once. It always turns out to be a massive disappointment and a lie. And the fact that Chinese citizens themselves voted with their investments, voted with their wallets, and actually caused military stocks to plummet directly after this big pageantry shows you that they're not fooled. They're not fooled by these fake models being paraded around. They're not fooled with all this nonsense because, you know what? They may be patriotic, a lot of them, but they're not going to put their money on something they don't believe in. The billions of dollars spent on this parade and pageantry could have gone to the many big problems China faces. I mean, I'm talking about things like all the incredibly serious and severe flooding that China has recently and still continues to experience right now, displacing countless people, putting whole cities underwater. It's insane. Extreme heat issues, the lying flat movement and the youth unemployment, which is just incredibly high at the moment. It's so difficult for people to find jobs. People that are not getting paid wages for 6 months up to 4 years, still hanging on, hoping that one day the state-owned enterprises will actually give them the money owed to them. There's a huge problem with the Chinese economy. There's a huge problem with natural disasters, yet the Chinese government would rather put all of its money into displays of force like this. Anyway, guys, until next time, unlike these ridiculously bad, crappy laser weapons that China pretends are cool, stay awesome.